It was really Barry Landry's vision for finding a way to train the next generation of child protection professionals in a meaningful and multidisciplinary way that led to the creation of the certificate program. She has been a tremendous supporter of the program, just such an advocate for children and for the work that the students are doing, that the professionals are doing. And we're so grateful to all that she's done to make it possible.
One of the strengths and one of the weaknesses of Harvard is its enormous size. So Harvard has 10 professional schools. It has a wealth of expertise and, I would say, brilliance, which is, if not unrivaled, certainly extraordinary. And so it's a wonderful place to develop something that is interdisciplinary, because you've got everybody that you could want here. You've got experts. In the case of child protection, you have experts in pediatric neuroscience, you have experts in the laws of armed conflict as they impact child soldiers, you have experts on refugee education, you have experts on how you organize a municipal system to deal with child abuse, you name it. You know, you can find a colleague at Harvard who knows about that and can teach about that. So that's an enormous strength, which was an asset for us as we thought of developing an integrated child protection program for graduate students. The downside, of course, is that Harvard is very big as well. And so it tends to work, if not in silos, certainly the model of a one university working as a beautifully oiled machine together is still elusive because it's so big, because the funding model is discrete. Each school has to fundraise for itself. Everybody's already overcommitted. And so getting something which is cross-cutting and interdisciplinary off the ground at Harvard is not easy. And that was our challenge. So in the early days, when we were thinking of creating a graduate program on child protection, which did not exist, there was no child protection program as such at the university. I went kind of cap in hand to dean after dean after dean, trying to, like a traveling salesman, trying to sell this idea with, I would say, pretty moderate success, moderate to low success. And people say, oh, yeah, it's a good idea, but we already have so many programs. Our students are so overcommitted and busy, our schedule, blah, blah. Very difficult. But, we are, if nothing else, bloody-minded and persistent. And so we carried on. And so we gradually built a graduate program in child protection for which students get a certificate if they fulfill our requirements, which are laid out very clearly. And it is both rigorous and interdisciplinary. So law school students can take it and put together a package of requirements which meets their interests. And medical students can take it and put together a package which meets their interests. And we've had extraordinary students doing both. I'll give you an example of one law school student who, after he graduated from Harvard Law School with a certificate in child protection, went on to work in Cambodia for many years with street children and with organizations that work with street children, doing really extraordinary work. And he now works for the UN in a more senior capacity, but has completely got the fire in his belly about child protection issues and is an extraordinary leader. And then on the other hand, we have people with a medical training who have worked on issues to do with child abuse and the trauma that it kind of generates, and have focused particularly on indigenous children. So we have a wonderful pediatrician who's just graduating, who is based in Australia. And, I have absolutely no doubt that she's going to be somebody who's going to make a big mark in this field. And so, as also you can see from these examples, we're very privileged to have this global reach, partly because we have globally trained and globally originating students from all over the world. And so our classroom really is kind of like a petri dish of commitment and intelligence from so many different places. And of course, that enriches the learning experience. And the last thing I'll say about the child protection certificate program is that for some students, it's really been career changing. And of course, that's for a teacher, that's such a gratifying thing to hear when students say, I started this because In some cases, there's a personal biographical reason, because I was abused, because, you know, I had problems with my nephew, blah, blah. But now I realize how rich this field is, how stimulating it is, how under-resourced it is, and this is what I'm going to do with my life. And so that is something that I think we can take some credit for.